Bum, 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 bum. Welcome back. Good morning. It is 5:29 a.m. It is 5:29 a.m. on June 17th, Thursday, 2021. Welcome to Pow Go On. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. Reaching world peace through individual strength. The best feeling podcast. Pow Go On. Your only no-nonsense podcast. Good morning. Today we talk about why and how and all things related to getting angry and how you can never get angry. Never get angry. Conservatives, progressives, alike. Anybody. You got 3 legs. You got 5 arms. I don't care what you got. Never get angry. How? Well, it's easy. We'll show you how. Also, why? All sorts of things. Great things today. I'm your host, Herbie. And this is Pow Go On. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Yes. Never get angry. Never get angry. Are you feeling the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times? And let me ask, are you feeling the front of your shins? Remember that you do not sit on your legs. Wherever you are, wherever thou art. Are you in the grocery store? That's my favorite one, I think. Are you in space? Where are you listening to this right now? Are you on the moon? Oh my God. That's insane. How did we get up here? That's insane. Never get angry. As you're remembering that you do not sit on your legs. There's so many more of these body mapping things as we'll get. If you have any questions, please don't be a stranger. We're here to help. But for now, remember to place the weight of the body on the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all of the times. Then feel the front of your shins. Remember, you do not sit on your legs. This is Pow Go On. How art thou doing today? How does your life go on today? Is it early morning for you? Early morning. Waking up and she cries. Or is it afternoon for you? Or is it morning? Have you been angry lately? Or has it been more calm? Have you been able to stay more calm? Either way, life is the way it is, isn't it? Wherever you are, that's where you are. Wherever you go, that's where you are. Wherever you go, there you are. So wherever you're at, you start there. Have you been angry before? Are you upset with yourself for being angry? Have you judged thyself for being angry before? Do you get upset with yourself when you get angry and then it makes you angrier when people tell you to stop being angry? Have you ever gotten there? Have you ever been there? No one likes that feeling. They're like, hey, calm down. How hard is that, right? When's the last time someone told you to calm down and you were just like, dude, you're right. I'm gonna calm down. That was easy. You're right. Thank you. When was the last time you did that? But are we placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all of the times? Some constructive ideas towards how we should go about relaxing. Generic words. Relax. Calm down. Okay, bub. What do you want me to do? Sit down? How? I sit down. I'm not relaxed. What do I do now? What do you want me to do now? What do you want me to try? Want me to drink some water? Want me to leave? Want me to talk to your friend? What do you want me to do to calm down? Nay, my brethren. Calm yourself. Place your weight of the body down the front of the spine, not the back. And then allow your body's weight to be transferred from the front of the spine and into those rainbow arches, those 2 sit bones that make contact with the seat. Remember, you don't sit on your legs or your tailbone. That's how you relax. That's how you relax. Why should you never get angry? Getting angry is a huge deal, as it shows it's personal at that point. It shows that you do not have the answers should you be angry. Even if you are going after the right thing in your head, should you be angry, it's actually counterproductive. You actually end up getting a lot of the times opposite of what you want, right? Let's say you get angry, you invite people to your party, and like you get mad that they're not showing up. So you start trying harder to get them to come over, and they love you, so they're gonna meet you halfway, and they're gonna be like, oh wow, Herbie's really trying, so I'm gonna try to meet halfway, of course, because we're loving human beings. And you realize that they came there through subtle intimidation, not because they hate you or not because you hate them, but it's like a third party intimidation on the just due to the fact that humans are so compassionate. They don't want to reject your invitation, though you seem so adamant about it. They don't know how to tell you that you seem so adamant about it and they care about you. So they're going to go to your party because they don't want you to be upset. They don't want you to be angry. Yay. They don't want you to be angry. So they spend their time focusing on managing emotions and managing your anger and trying to be present, right? Trying to be like, we got to be here because they invited us. So we got to be here. Can't screw them over. I love that guy. And they get over there and like not having a great time, especially now that there's all this pressure, right? It's like, I've seen them get angry. And I know how it's going to be if I don't stay at the party. So all my focus is on that instead of just being myself and just enjoying and allowing the human spirit be what we share with one another. Crazy. This anger. It's like not just the anger, like, oh, I'm not afraid of him getting angry. Well, if you don't want him to be angry and that makes you do different choices and not correct him when he could be corrected, like he's going to fall off a cliff and you're like, I don't want to help him because I don't want him to get angry. Well, you should tell him to stop. He's going to fall over the, okay. Ooh, splat. Well, I mean, I just didn't want him to be angry, you know? So on our side, on everybody's side of trying to be that person who isn't angry and trying to connect to the person who is angry, it's difficult, right? Because even if you're not necessarily afraid of the anger directed towards you, the fact that they exhibit anger causes you to worry about them because you care about them. You're like, I know what anger's like. I don't want their mood to be like that, you know? I don't want their mood to be like that. So we do a bunch of different things and we make all kinds of considerations. Turns out not actually due to trying to help them, but trying to manage emotions, trying to deal with the fact that they might be angry. Whether we deal with the fact that they're going to have to deal with that and we have to deal with the fact that they have to suffer or, you know, fix their ways without you, or deal with the fact that it is being directed towards you, or deal with the fact that you have it yourself. This anger stuff, it makes it so it's about somebody's survival of emotions, right? As opposed to actually what's going on. It makes it about like the survival of someone's emotions, the overcoming of someone's suffering. It makes it so much deeper than what it actually is about. Everything, this anger thing. Who's going to split the bill? You see someone getting angry like, oh, I did it last time, blah, blah, blah. And everyone else is like, all right, like everyone else is reasonable. Is like, yo, I mean, we're all friends. We're just hanging out. So, I mean, it's not a big deal. We're just figured out, you know? And then you never pick the person who's angry then, because you don't want them to be angry. You're like, I care about you, but like, I can tell they're going through it right now. So I don't want to put you through more. It becomes about the survival thing, as opposed to the fact that it's just about splitting the check properly, right? It becomes about something else. It becomes about managing someone's emotion, which is like about survival in like a weird twisted way, right? It's like about survival. It's like, I can't overcome this moment. It's emotional stuff, right? So when someone's upset, it's not even just because you're afraid of them. It's because you're a caring human being that you don't want to upset them further because you understand how deep that is. Sometimes you don't know how deep it is due to this anger stuff. You could crank that anger all the way to 11, or you can keep it at 1, and you can, on the outward level, they could look similar depending on who you are. You don't know. Anger's so unwieldy. Makes it harder to see what's actually been going on. So if you're angry, you're preventing people from seeing what your actual issue is because they're trying to consider your emotions. And so they're not being completely honest with you because they care about you. It's not just because they're afraid of you. It's also because they care about you. They don't want to hurt you further. They can tell you're hurting in some way, shape, or form. They're waiting for you to ask for help. They can tell you're hurting in some way, shape, or form. So your anger is not, it's not necessarily that like they hate you now because they think that you're angry with them, but it's also like they're trying to care for you, you know? So this anger thing, it It acts as a force field preventing people from getting closer to helping you. That's one of the biggest issues about anger, is that you could be suffering all day and you can't have anybody actually help you because your anger is preventing people from seeing the issue because they're more worried about your survival right now. This emotional thing is a very survival feeling thing. Someone's crying, someone's like jittering, like someone's like grinding their teeth. It becomes a very physical thing. It's not about the issue that they're handling, but rather how they're handling the issue at that point. And so you end up managing how they're handling the situation. You never get to actually fixing the situation because by the time their feelings get managed, you're moved on to something else by then. You're just happy that they're not angry anymore. So you just move on. You're like, all right, I don't want to drill you on this. I don't want to grill you on this. I'm not your dad. I'm not your mom. I'm your homie or something like that. I'm your cousin. So I'm not going to grill you on this. So now that you're feeling better, let's go hang out. It's typically what it is. So when you give into anger, it's not even a personality thing, right? It's like when you give into anger, because everyone has moments, right? Where everyone's going to feel those moments where it feels like you're going to have to give into anger, When you give into anger, your anger, whether you're aggressing it towards someone else or not, just the sheer fact that you have anger is related to your amount of survival in that moment, your emotional stability in that moment, which is highly related to survival, this emotional realm, right? So it becomes about your survival at that point. So when we give into anger, not only is it frustrating for yourself because no one likes being angry. And especially when people tell you you're getting angry, that's like one of the biggest pet peeves, right? I'm not angry, you're angry. So when we get angry, right, we're preventing people from seeing the actual issue because it becomes more about managing our emotions. It becomes more about helping this person survive at this time. And then when you're done with that, you're not going to, after you be done surviving, you're not going to lecture them. You're going to be like, let's go have some drinks. Let's have some fun. You're not going to be like, hey, that anger thing that you just went through that I just pulled you out of, let's lecture you for about 20 more minutes about it. It's neither here nor there. It's neither the time and place. The anger adds this whole another layer before even getting to your issue. And then when you're done with that, you can't even get to your issue because you've used all your energy just managing your emotions. This anger thing is such an issue. It's not just getting angry at other people. It's that it creates this aura around you of like no one can help you because no one's even going to ask about what the issue is. They're just going to ask, are you able to manage it? And then when you can sincerely manage it, then you'll get to actual honest critiques and you get to actual relationships, real relationships, not just people managing your emotions and trying to keep you from dying. Don't you want that for yourself? I want that for you. I really want that for you. I would love that for you. Let's do that for you. All anger is the issue. All anger points you in a direction. Right or wrong, depending on how you understand anger. All anger is an issue. Why? Because if you don't have the facts on your side, that's when you get angry. If the stakes are personal, that's when you get angry. You do not get angry when you are on the right, when the truth is on your side. Why get angry? Let's say you're even being persecuted. What more can you give than the honesty and the honest truth? How much further can the human spirit go than just the honest truth? It's an anger thing. It shows that it's personal. It shows that you don't have the answers. When you have the answers, you don't get upset. Do you get upset that 2 + 2 is 4? You get upset that 3 + 3 is 6. You don't get upset with things that are just true. So there's a heavy correlation with overreaction and emotionalism and anger. There's a heavy correlation with those things and being in the wrong. At least vantage point wise, like spiritually, like assuming that you know something that you don't. And then somebody questioning that and you trying to control that situation, you're playing God in that situation, then you get angry. Because you expected a certain outcome and it didn't go your way. You're comparing it to another moment. You're comparing it to another moment. Aren't you? Whenever you get angry, all anger is the issue. All anger is the issue because all anger are lies. All anger is you playing God, trying to see another moment. Otherwise, why would you be angry? You're just in the moment. How could you be angry should you not be thinking about anything else but this moment? It just is. There's no later, there's no before. You must necessarily be constructing a reality in your head, otherwise known as playing God, to get angry. You must be creating a world that then gets contradicted with your actual world for you to experience this anger thing. So how do you make sure that never happens? Well, by making sure that you look at the right things. If you look at the wrong things, you might notice that things are not congruent. When you focus on the wrong things, you might see the patterns not merge. So you're focusing on the right things. How could you get angry? Should you focus on there's the fact that your body exists here and now. There's no other time. Your body is not in the future. How could you get angry about something that might be happening in the future? How could you get angry? All anger is playing God. All anger is assuming that you know how the world should be, and it is not that way. You've constructed a world inside your head. You're playing God, you know? But that should be that's such a weight off your shoulders to know that that's what it was. That's all it was. That's all it was. Just doing way too much, thinking way too much as a human being, thinking way too much as a human being. That's all it was. That's all it was. How could you get angry if you weren't comparing it to another moment? Thank you, Herbie, like, for the stream, for the host. Appreciate you. How could you get angry? You know? Anger shows that it's not on your side. So let's say you're raising anger says that the truth's not on your side. Let's say you're raising kids, and kids can sniff out this stuff so easily, right? They're so sensitive to small, minute spiritual changes. They watch you, not what you want them to see. They watch you. You can't turn you off. They don't watch you just when you want them to watch you. They watch you all the time. So when they see that you're angry, like they try to call you out on something, you get angry because you're like, I don't want them to call me out on this because they don't clean their rooms. So how are they going to call me out? Should you get angry? You distract from the actual thing that's been going on. Let's say your kid's like, Mom, clean up this. Well, if you're getting angry, you're already assuming that she's judging you in any way or anything like that. It's just a baby. They're just like, Mom, look at this. They're just like, wow, this thing is right here at this moment. They're talking about the moment. And if you get angry, you're thinking about a different moment. That's the issue. You don't know what they're talking about. You don't know what this other person's talking about. More often than not, you don't know what people are talking about, right? Not even in the sense that you can't comprehend it, but as in words are so limited. Especially like you get even further and further away from body language. You go onto go into a webcam, and then even worse, go onto a phone. Well, maybe not necessarily worse, but alternatively, you go onto a phone. It's already hard enough to tell what people mean face to face, because people have such different definitions for words. You should be constantly asking, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? As we discussed yesterday, how do you say better? Like if someone says better to you, you don't even know what that means yet. You need to ask more questions, right? So this anger thing comes a lot of the times from just assuming that we know too much. Like, how could you know all those things? How could you know that they felt these things? How could you know that they meant it that way? How could you know that they meant to offend you by leaving their toys on the floor? How could you know all those things? As a human being, more often than not, if you just say, I don't know, you're closer to the truth more like 99% of the time. Because as humans, you just don't know anything. As human beings, like your vantage point is so limited in this area, from this spot specifically. And then from then on, you're hidden away from everybody else's like mind too. So whatever they do, you kind of just have to guess what they're thinking. Like we don't know very much as a human being. So like nine times out of 9.1, you don't know what you're talking about. As in you can't confirm. As in, isn't it so great to have some humility about that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? I don't know. Because we shouldn't be getting angry. And that's one great way to avoid this anger is chill, dog. You don't know that much. How are you going to prevent getting angry? Well, prevent yourself from assuming that you know everything. Prevent yourself from thinking that you know how this is supposed to go. Because you technically don't. Yeah, you might have all the variables all in line, but you still can't control the entire world, right? is why we say focus here on Pao Gong An. This is why we say focus on the inside world. It's the only thing that you actually can affect and trust, this inside world, your inside world. Your awareness, your ability to place the weight of the body on the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times. Feel the front of the shins. Remember that you do not sit on your legs. You focus on that so much because that's all you can know here. And in the real world, that's all you can know is your world, your inside world. So when you get angry, are you not experiencing a contradiction of your created inside world versus the outside world? You didn't get a phone call from that boy you wanted? Didn't you construct a world in your head where that happened? And so now you didn't get that, and so now you're angry and upset about it? Well, who set you up for that? You set yourself up for that, right? You set yourself up for that, right? And then you end up getting angry, and the next time you see them, you can't even talk to them calmly. You can't even be yourself. You can't even express to them how you felt about them this entire time because you had this comparison with another moment that had you angry. And then you feel guilty because you couldn't even experience the moment completely because you were angry. And so now you never know if you had a chance with that boy. You never know if you had a chance with that girl because you weren't in the moment because you were experiencing anger. Anger comes from experiencing other moments. Because how could you be upset with this moment unless it was being compared to another moment? Why? It just is, right? How could you feel any type of way about a moment if you weren't comparing it to another moment you wanted instead? How could you get angry? But if you're just in the moment, aren't you able to observe whether or not you're right for this girl, right for this boy, by seeing if your body does the kinesthetic things that match up together without you worrying about like another moment of this? Am I going to get it the way that I want? Am I going to get this, that? Instead, focus all of that great human potential and focus it like a razor blade all into this moment. And who knows, maybe you have the best relationship ever. What happens? What happens when we reduce our anger to zilch, allow people to get in close, see our problems without fear of rejection? Anger makes people afraid to even approach you to help you because they don't want to be rejected, because that rejection is a special type of rejection when it's anger induced. It hurts because when you're angry, you take it out on people, you lash out. It's counterproductive to get angry for anything you want. For anything you want. Let's take a short break. And let's never get angry. And let's never get angry ever as we're placing the weight of the body on the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times. And why do we do that? Well, can you be in any other moment? Can the spine be in any other moment than it is right now? It's only here and now, right? Here today, here and now. Your spine's not yesterday. Your spine's not tomorrow. Your spine's here. Always here. So doesn't that go hand in hand with what we're talking about how to not be angry? Just being in the moment, not being in any other place. So let's place the weight of the body on the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all times, into the sit bones in the moment. And remember, you don't sit on your legs. Feel the front of your shins. Using our sense of the world to make sense of the world. Achieving world peace through individual strength. Welcome back to the Best Feeling Podcast. I hope you had a fantastic break. I hope you're able to feel the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. At all the times. And remember, you do not sit on your legs. Why do we focus on those things? To not stay angry, to not be angry. Are you upset right now? Did someone just cut you off? Are you on the road? Are you in the car right now driving? Are Are you in the classroom right now? Should you not be listening to me? Shh, I won't tell nobody. Are you next to the husband, the spouse, the wife? Are you next to yourself in the mirror? Are you next to yourself in the bed? What art thou doing? Whatever you are doing, can you not experience a reduction of unnecessary suffering? Should you place the weight of the body on the front of the spine, where you are today, here and now, where your rainbow arches are? Are you placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches all the times? Feeling the front of the shins. And then remember that you do not sit on your legs. And then one more thing. Remember to let all these words go in one ear and out the other. These are just words. Hold on to what means something to you. Or meet us back tomorrow. Hold on to the night. Welcome back to Pao Go On. So, why conservatives are losing, right? Amongst a platitude of reasons. Is that a word? A platitude? Amongst the gigantic million pantheon amount of reasons that are local to the human spirit. Well, they're losing because they get angry. Everybody gets angry. Progressives, y'all get angry. Conservatives, y'all get angry. Independents, y'all get angry. Mysticals, y'all get angry. Muggles, y'all get angry. Y'all get angry. Street Fighter characters, y'all get angry. Humans get angry, right? At least when they're still figuring stuff out, right? At least as we're still asleep to our inside world. At least while we're still looking at the outside world to understand our inside world, we'll get angry, right? As long as we're comparing the outside world to what we thought we knew in the inside world, we'll get angry. As long as we continue to construct worlds in our heads that are not this moment and compare it to other moments, we will get angry. Yes, even if you're thinking about something super important, special, like saving the country. Should your brain allow itself to be distracted by this future that you're afraid of? Oh, I don't want the country to go this way. Then you get angry because you don't want it to go that direction, right? Which is fair. Maybe you don't want it to go into a fair direction. Maybe it's fair to say that you don't want your family, your country, or whatever to go into a negative direction and that you have images of this area and you don't want it to get there. Maybe that's fair. Maybe it's fair that you can imagine an image. You also are able to do that without expressing anger, without being angry towards that thing, without being angry that it is not that moment. What is that? Death fearing versus life loving. Death fearing, it's not going to be the moment that I want. This sucks, as opposed to life loving. Wow, this is the moment. There is no other moment. It'd be great if there's a greater moment, but this is the greatest moment because it is the moment. It is where my spine is, and I'm feeling the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all its times. It is the moment that I am in, so it is the best moment, as opposed to a future moment, which your brain is desperately trying to be in, but will never be in. No matter how hard you try, you will never be in a future moment or the past moment. You will always be in this moment. So all of your human amazing potential, you godly human you godly creature you, we know there's God in you. And what do I mean by this God? Not some creature in the sky, but just the order of the universe. You godly creature you, your ability to overcome, your godly creature you. Your ability to see potential in yourself and the collective unconscious of all human beings. You godly human you. You godly human. So despite you being godly, comparing to other moments will have you be angry. Instead of just living in the moment. All that potential, that human potential. Again, that's what I was saying. You godly creature you. All that human potential, you godly creature you. Be placed like a razor blade or like a laser. Woo, into whatever you want at the moment. I want to have fun. Ew, boom. The most fun you've ever had in life. I want to be compassionate. Eee, boom, the most compassion you've ever had in life. Because you're able to use all the potential, all of that human potential, all lasered in, focused in, hocus pocus in, into this moment instead of thinking about outside moments and splitting the attention and trying to be in two places at once. But rather, woo, yourself like a fetal position cannonball, freaking that dude from Avengers, Vision. Yeah, boom. Focus all your body and attention into this moment, whatever that moment might be. Maybe it's being happy. Maybe it's being compassionate. Maybe it's being sad. Maybe it's being thoughtful. Maybe it's constructing a birthday party. Maybe it's being soft on yourself. Maybe it's being gentle with yourself. How much more gentle could you be with yourself if you weren't comparing to the other moments where you weren't as gentle, but rather just looking at yourself today? As you're placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. If you're not comparing it to any other kind of moment, then you can use all of your human potential in this moment and suck out the most out of it. And what do you get when you suck out the most of life? No regrets, right? No regrets. No idea that things could have been better, they just were. You acted out into the fullest potential of yourself. You cannot control the universe, right? It's all out there, this chaotic universe out there, this outer world universe. You can't control that. What you can't control is the inside world, right? Where your attention on, where your awareness is on. Is your awareness on multiple things, many places, many times that are not this, or is your awareness on this time, on this moment? How are you going to be funny when you're talking about other moments? Well, those other moments were funny. Yeah, but no one else is seeing those moments but you in your head, loser. Just twiddling your thumbs in the corner, you loser. Just like thinking about other moments. Hey, let me think about the other moment that made people laugh. They're not living in that moment the same way you are, right? Everybody's living in the outer world moment. We live in our inside world moment. That's how much we have control over of what our awareness is in. But as far as what we can use, as far as we can handshake with other people and all tell that we're all in the same room and feeling the same things and all on the same page before the joke hits, because jokes require context, right? You need to be present in the moment. How could you do that if you're thinking about other things? How could you be funny if you want to be funny? How could you be funny if you're necessarily thinking about like, oh, I want the moment to look like this? You're trying to construct this moment. So how are you going to play God while simultaneously trying to be funny, right? What is funny if not just a human's expression, a human's enjoyment of the world and life, and we're sharing it? Someone's witty observation, some kind of logic and order in the world that's fascinating to us and available to us due to our faculties of reason, our words, our language that we construct our world with. So whatever you want in life, never get angry. To potentiate yourself, never get angry. I just recommend never getting angry. Do what you will, of course, in one ear, out the other, right, guys? Do what you will, or suffer and die. But do what you will, right? Of course, everybody's got their own human nature. Everybody's got their own faculties of reason. You are this godly thing. You're only going to do you're only going to do new things when life prompts you to do them anyway. So, take it with whatever you will. Give it a shot. Smoke on it, like they say. Shout out JLP. Never get angry. Just think about it. Never get angry. Place the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches instead of thinking about a moment it could be. Feel the front of the shins instead of thinking about what they said to you yesterday. Remember, you don't sit on your legs instead of thinking about what you could have, instead of thinking about what could have been. Remember, you don't sit on your legs because that is a truism right here and now. Right, conservatives? Right? Everybody's a conservative. If you like playing games, if you like winning games, you have moments in which you've been conservative. At least you have a spirit in you which is naturally conservative. What is conservative? Conserving progress that conserving progress that we've made. Conserving the science that we've made. Conserving the future that we've constructed towards. Instead of just throwing it away every day. Imagine every day you thought of a new way to feel the front of the spine. Imagine every day you thought the spine was constructed a different way every day, instead of returning back to the fact that the spine delivers weight down the front of the weight-bearing portion of the spine and into the rainbow arches, and not the bony, spiny portion of the back, which houses the nerves, which is very useful for housing the nerves because it gives them a lot of room and also protects them at the same time, but it's not meant to bear the weight of the body. Rather, the front portion of the spine is meant to bear the weight of the body. And you conserve that knowledge. You're not just going to forget about it. You conserve knowledge that's useful to you. You conservative, but you also progress forward with that. You also progress forward towards your goal by conserving your techniques, your knowledge, so that you can progress towards your goal. You're all of those things, right? So to all my conservatives, to progressives and leftists, rightists, take heart. Gay, straight, bi, trans, alien, Martian, Aquarian, Aquarius, whatever you are. Whatever you are. As usual, these messages are ubiquitous. As usual, these messages are for all you human beings out there on planet Earth or otherwise. Been a long time. For all you humans. Never get angry. No matter what you're doing. Why? Well, it shows you don't have the truth on your side, first of all. So if you're talking about raising kids, you're going to see right through that. You're going to see right through that. And in fact, you're actually, you're probably damaging them at that point because they want to know the truth. These kids just want to know the truth. What does anger do? Prevent you from getting to the truth because now you're worried about survival again, right? Especially as a child, your child to the parent relationship, every time mama gets angry, it's like, crap. Emotions fly. Here we go. Also, this sucks for me. I just want to be chill. I just want to live and overcome the next suffering. I just want to chill. But instead, I have to deal with these emotions. Now I feel like I can't chill. It's a survival thing now. And so kids don't even get to learn the truth about the world as you get angry. The truth is not on your side when you're angry. And they know that. Everybody knows that. It just gets awkward. You don't get mad that 2 + 2 is 4. Where were you yesterday? I was at the mall. Really? Yeah. Why? Why? Why do you want to know if I was at the mall? Why do you want to know? It's like, geez, calm down. All right. Looks like you're defending something. Indeed, when there's no anger, what does that look like? Well, every moment is the same. Every moment is neutral. They say forgiveness is about forgetting it. Not necessarily. But rather the moments can come into your mind and they don't affect you any differently than another moment. But they don't hold you down. They don't blackmail you. They don't chain you down with emotional blackmail. They don't hold you down with this like emotional weight. That's what it looks like to actually forgive. That's what it looks like to actually not be angry. It is a moment. Yeah, maybe something bad happened to you, but you're not upset about it. That's what it would look like. Now, we don't need to try to get there. It's just what it will look like. Just so you know, every moment will be neutral. Every moment's new. Because you're not comparing it to another. It is just equal. You dig? How could you get angry? There are no other moments to be angry at. And you must not have the truth on your side should you get angry. Should you get angry, you must not have the truth on your side. There's many ways to be the truth. It is a constant seeking of truth that we live. So it's counterproductive to be angry. We're constantly seeking truth. We're constantly looking for truisms in our world to order our world because life is suffering. You come out the womb, wah, you're suffering. Life is suffering. So we're looking for more ways daily to withstand the suffering, overcome the suffering. And that comes in the form of strength, which strength comes in the form of truth. How strong is a falsity? One of the reasons why we see things as true is because it stands the test of time. It's not brittle. It asserts itself over and over over any kind of falsity. That's why truisms give you strength, actual strength. As in, what's going to help make a foundation for your house best? Not knowing the truth behind the foundation of the dirt underneath it, or knowing the foundation and then overcoming it and dealing with it. Which one's going to give you a better foundation? Not knowing the truth or knowing the truth? Which one's going to have you run or walk better? Knowing where the ground is or not knowing where the ground is? Not knowing the truth or knowing the truth? Which one would actually help you run better? Which one would actually help you exert all of your human effort on other things like running faster instead of worrying about whether or not there's ground underneath there? Truth gives you strength. Allows you to worry about less things because some things that are just true are now out of your hands. If they're true, they're just out of your hands now. And you get to focus on things that are in your hand. We are constantly looking for things to help us overcome suffering in our lives, and truth is one of those best things to do it. The human spirit can overcome all things. Its problem is that it thinks it has to deal with all things. But all things that the humans have at its disposal, it can handle all things because truisms are not in your hands. They're just there. They're part of the universe at that point. Is God, right? That's what they say. Confused about this word God thing? That's just what it is. It's just the universe stuff. The nature of the universe. As in the fact that truisms assert themselves over and over. and they reduce your stress in life. That's a truism. That's like a truism of humanity. Is the more truth that we have, the more we're able to exert certain strength and apply our human strength towards one goal and really achieve some amazing results by looking at one thing at a time. There is no multitask. One thing at a time. You look at multiple things at a time, you start getting angry because you're comparing moments. But your spine exists in this moment at all times, as you're placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. And then remember that you do not sit on your legs. You don't get angry when the truth is on your side. And you don't get angry when you're thinking about just this moment. We're always searching for truth, aren't we? We're looking for more ways to deal with the suffering in our lives every day. One of the reasons why it's so great to talk to people about their problems is because you find out through so many layers of the conversation how to apply it to your life and how to overcome suffering in the ways that you see them doing it. They might joke about it, they might tell you how they got over it, but learning about people's lives is so important. Talking to people is so important. You learn so much about how to deal with suffering that you haven't even seen coming yet. It's so beautiful, right? Talking to people and learning about their life and getting to apply that to your life. It's like we're all playing this game. We're all trying to overcome suffering. It's like you're looking over at their shit, wow, I never thought about it that way, but now I can. And how about when you're angry and you shut people out from that? Don't you starve them of the ability to be able to apply your amazing godlike solutions to things to their own lives? Aren't you starving them of that with anger? Aren't you starving them that of anger? As we are all in this world, not just chilling and just enjoying, but we start off negative, right? We start off in the world as suffering. As a baby, we begin the suffering. And forever until we die, we will begin suffering. So the game isn't rather, what do I want to do? But rather, how do I reduce this suffering, as everybody is suffering constantly? You might give the outer appearance that you're not suffering, but until we are focused on the inside world again, everybody is suffering. Babies are suffering. And then they get older and they don't understand the world. They're suffering. Then people get upset with these babies, so they have a harder time understand the world and learning lessons to apply them to the world because they're focused on applying the language of how do I manage this person's emotions. And that doesn't necessarily apply to how do I run a business. This world that we want to construct cannot be constructed through anger, as we block off the next generation from learning from our mistakes and our amazing godlike choices by getting angry if they ever question us. Why should you be angry? Well, I didn't want them to ask me a question like that. What do you mean like that? Why did you think that they were going to do anything else? You don't know them. Or if you do know them, well, you should have talked to me like that. Why? Do you know what's going on in their brain? Do you know what's going on in their inside world? Maybe you also, through your acts of carelessness, have encouraged them to be doing that because you haven't punished them in the past. Why are they yelling at me? Maybe because you didn't tell them that you don't want them to yell at you way back long ago. You didn't stick up for yourself. You didn't tell them the truth about yourself. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why you're upset, because it's not resonating with the truth of yourself because you chose to have a different truth at that time. You chose to be like, I know that I wanted to stop yelling at me, but I'm going to choose to live in a different moment instead of telling him straight up the truth of my inside and alarm him to the truth and then allow him to order his world. Maybe he doesn't want to lose you as a friend. Maybe this person that you're upset with because they're yelling at you, maybe they actually really want you as a friend, but because you haven't expressed yourself on the inside of how you feel, they don't understand the incongruity. Because you were angry with them or you were afraid of their anger, bam, all in the one thing, right? Freaking all loop-de-loops. It's all loops in on itself because you were afraid of them being angry or something. You didn't allow yourself, you didn't have the strength to be truthful. So he didn't get the truth for his own world to be able to apply to his own life and be like, wow, that's the truth about how they feel. Okay, well, I can now choose if I want to go along with that or if I want to remain, or if I want to go away from that. If I want to remain friends with them, I should go along with that or figure out what they're feeling, blah, blah, blah. But they can't do that unless we begin the truth acquisition process. And that truth acquisition process is always blocked off by anger, resentment, comparisons to other moments. All we're looking for is some truth. All we're looking for is to handle every situation. I know it sounds like a lot, right? But all we're looking for is some kind of framework to handle life. And when we use anger, we prevent people from constructing a proper one because we're comparing other moments. So now this other person is also learning how to construct responses to a moment that isn't this. So we're all just living in all these lies. It's all lies. Nah, it's just anger. Stay away from all anger. You'll see who is in the right, who is in the wrong. You'll see that anger intimidates people and causes people to have a fake sense of power because they're intimidating people. But so they have a power of preventing people from quote unquote harming them. Not really, but in their perceived mind, their anger does. They have the perceived power because they're intimidating people, because not even just that people are scared of them, but also people who care about them don't want to ruin their vibe either, because they're like, yo, they might know what they're doing. You know, a lot of people are very humble about it also, and they're just like, oh, I'm not going to get angry because I don't know necessarily what they're doing. But when you get angry, you get this false sense of power as opposed to a true sense of power, which comes from truth and being in the moment, right? So that you can harness all of your human potential potentiated into this moment, instead of trying to throw your spine into 3 seconds later, which it will never be, or 5 years in the past, which it will never be, but rather in this moment, as you're feeling the weight of the body in front of the spine. That's true power, is living in the truth. As it's not even you at that point. You're like, yo, I got all the power of this gigantic monolith of information that's taken lifetimes. It's like the Avatar. It's taken lifetimes to get here. I got all this on my side. Like, what does your anger have against that? Like, what does your anger could possibly do? What kind of power would your anger possibly have against this power that I'm siding with, and I'm just like unleashing it like a pressurized pump onto you, pressurized like water pump onto you, and just releasing it. It's not even me. I don't got to do anything. I'm just chilling, bro. Got the truth on my side. Not trying to intimidate nobody. It's just the truth that reasserts itself over and over and over and over and over and over. And I respect it. I have faith in it. 2 + 2 is 4. No matter how much they try to yell at you, try to scare you into thinking 2 + 2 is 5, right? Try to intimidate you by saying, oh, look at all these people. They're going to take their good feelings, which is the lack of anger, right? So it's like, still using anger against you. It's like, watch these people. They're going to take their good feelings away from you unless you say 2 + 2 is 5. Yeah, that might be scary. That might look like power. It might look like power because there's physical intimidation. But every one of those people are human beings with a faculty of reasoning and logic, and endowed as they are some godly creature within themselves too, right? They're endowed with faculties of reason. And even within themselves, they see that the truth is 2 + 2 is 4. Even as that proctor is yelling, 2 + 2 is 5. And then everybody, like, all the weaklings are like, yes, 2 + 2 is 5. As one person stands up for the truth and says 2 + 2 is 4, it might seem like it might seem like the proctor has power by intimidating, by saying, everybody in here says 2 + 2 is 5. How about you? And you're like, no, the truth is 2 + 2 is 4. And everyone's like, you better say it's 2 + 2 is 5. Otherwise, they're going to get angry with you. And you'll be like, nah, I heard from Pao Go On that anger's stupid. So 2 + 2 is 4. And they're going to be like, yeah, well, they're going to leave you and they're never going to be your friends again. And you'll be like, yeah, so what? 2 + 2 is 4. That's going to help me in real life. And also, I know that they know the truth, so they're being stupid. I don't want to be friends with them anyway. Well, they're going to kill you. What? Over not the truth? Okay. Well, I mean, that person doesn't have power on their side. Everything they do is robbing themselves of human spirit as they're trying to counter this 2 + 2 is 4 thing. They're trying to make a fiction out of it. Ever so quickly crumbling themselves as they try to turn a falsity into a truism. And you sit there like unconcerned. You're like, dude, it's not even me. I'm not saying 2 + 2 is 4. Ask the universe. Ask these 2 pens when I put them together. Why is it 4? I don't know. Ask the universe. I don't know. Ask God. That truth on your side. That dude yelling at you with his anger might actually croak. Might actually get a heart attack by the time he's done yelling at you because of all his anger trying to turn 2 + 2 into 5. And then all those people around you, seeing how he gets angry, they're human too, so they're freaking smart, well endowed with this God thing. That God thing wakens within them, and they're like, wow, this person's angry. I know they don't have all the answers. 2 + 2 must not equal 5. And then the room starts changing. That's power. Changing people from within. That's power. You can't force anybody to do anything. You can only show them. You can only reveal. You can only help them. You can only hope to help them reveal something within themselves. But Should they be forced to do something, they revert every time. Humans are religious creatures. You must change their religion. You must change what they believe. You must adhere to 2 + 2 = 4 should you want to be okay in this real world, because in this real world, 2 + 2 does equal 4. When you put your foot on the ground, your ground does hit the ground. The gravity exists, it does exist. 2 + 2 is equal 4. No matter what. Which helps us as we're trying to overcome suffering in our lives daily. The truth allows us to let go. Be like, yo, don't ask me, man. It's just this God thing, this universe thing, this collective unconscious thing. You see how we're convincing all those people in the back of the room, Proctor? You see how well your anger is convincing them? You see how angry you get trying to cling to a truth, to try to cling to a falsity? Like 2 + 2 = 5. You see how angry that makes you to cling to a falseness? See how angry you are? Trying to make this moment into a moment in which I believe 2 + 2 = 5, in which I bend to your whim. You see how you're playing God, bro? Do you see that? Instead of being in the moment and placing your weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. Remember, you do not sit on your legs. Even if you are that Proctor, I hope you are feeling the front of your shins. Next time someone says 2 + 2 = 5, you tell them you feel the front of your shins right now. You better stop all that mess. You better feel the front of your shins right now. Never get angry, conservatives. Never get angry, anybody's, as we are all progressives and conservatives to some degree, right? We conserve our progress in life so that we can progress towards our goals in life. You cute ass human being, you great godly creature, you remember to never get angry. You never get what you want when you get angry. Even if you get quote unquote what you want, this material thing, or this time or something, even if you quote unquote get on the outside world what you want, on the inside world you crumble, not knowing if it was you who actually got it. So not knowing if the next situation arises when you want to get it, if it will be from within, as in you can achieve it all the time and you can get it from within. You can siphon energy from within and be able to handle the next situation. Or was it fake, brought on only about through intimidation of other people and other things and getting angry at the world? Was it because someone made concessions, or was it out of true strength? So when you're angry, you never get what you want anyway. Even if you get that money, you're still scared. You're like, I don't even know if I deserve this money, because I made this choice out of anger, which means it wasn't a clear choice, which means I can't apply it to anything else. I don't know what's really going on down here. I didn't know where my body's awareness was. Holy crap. Whereas focusing all your awareness in this one place, you're like, wow, this looks a lot like that other time. How do I know that? Because I was so focused in this time and that time that I really could feel this 3D expansive experience of this thing all around me. In the moment, right? In the moment. Never get angry, because you never get what you want. You never get what you want. You might intimidate people, but it's counterproductive. And how do you not get angry? Well, don't compare it to other moments. Your body, which houses your anxiety, right? Your body, which houses your mood, your feelings right now. How you feel right now is housed within your amazing kinesthetic body. It can't be nowhere else. It can't be yesterday. It can't be tomorrow. It can't be in 5 minutes from now. It can only be here and now. So how do you say not angry? Don't compare it to any other moments. Every moment is new. Every moment is a blessing. Every new breath, a new life. And how do you live in the moment? How do you not compare to other moments? Well, you make sure that every moment is equal. Forgive all things. You don't try to hide some moments and be like, yeah, these ones in particular are secret bad thoughts. Never let these memories come out. Well, they're going to come out at the wrong time, and then you're not going to be able to deal with them. Rather, we want to neutralize everything and be like, yeah, all memories are the same, and I'm pretty neutral about everything. Life is life. I did spend a lot of time trying to make other moments into those moments that I was and try to control things, but not no more. I'm just like, yo, feel the weight of the body down front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the times. Why would you do anything else? Going to those other places in your mind makes you feel like crap anyway. When you're not feeling the front of your shins. When you're remembering you don't sit on your legs. Going into the future, trying to force a future that you see in your head. That's something that should be avoided. Trying to control a future, especially when it comes to other people. Everybody has this like window to this godlike thing, right? So who are you to try to control another godlike thing? Good luck. So controlling to try to be somewhere in the future and try to like construct a paradise for even your own child. dangerous as you end up in anger, right? Which prevents them from learning about the world then through you, which is what you're there for. Not just what you project out to them, but when in your moments of weakness, when you think no one's watching, that stuff pervades. You think you're good at hiding it? Nah. When you walk into the room, people can tell you're upset. They just don't say anything. So how are we going to stay angry? How are we going to stay unangry? How do we avoid anger? How do we never get angry, Herbie? How do we never get angry, Herbie, on Pau Go On? Well, mentally and physically. Order thy worldview mentally first, or do the physical first, but get both in line, get both in order. Never be angry again, because how could you be angry if you're not comparing to any other moments? And how do you not compare to any other moments? You focus on the physical moment here because your physicality is the most truism you have. It's the most true, it's the most in the moment, it's the most here and now ever. It's the most with you. So you focus on the body, you're necessarily not focusing on tomorrow, right? If you're focusing on a pain that is right now, if you're looking at that pain, or if you're focusing on like a good feeling in your right arm or something, if you're focusing on like a good taste, you're in the moment. Stay here. Don't let your mind wander. So how do you stay unangry? How do you never get angry again? Well, you order yourself mentally and physically. You order yourself mentally and physically, because the world is chaos, right? You're a baby. When you're a baby, you are chaos. The world is chaos. Chaos. We start off in chaos, right? The world is chaos. You start off crying. So what is the solution to this anger thing? Well, ordering the chaos around you. Wasn't the anger just you trying to impose your own idea of the world onto this order, onto this world, this chaotic world? Is that not where the anger is coming from? You trying to impose your idea of what you want the world to look like. And that's an unordered view of the world. That's an unordered mentality of the world, because it's just not ordered with the way the reality really is. In reality, the truth in the outside world asserts itself over and over again. Gravity keeps coming over and over again. Time keeps moving forward over and over again. Out of your control. You cannot control that. They just reassert themselves. Boom, boom, truth. These truths. So what you want to do is order your mental world so that it aligns with those truths, so you can chill on autopilot, baby, and just hang out. Or get what you want in life. But it will be easy and not through anger, as anger never gets you what you want. So how do you avoid being angry? You order yourself mentally and physically, because they are going to alert each other to one another, right? How you feel in the physical is going to affect your mentality. And you won't think that great when you feel like you can't breathe. It's a physical thing. And also you won't be able to take care of your body if your mentality is not taken care of. If your worldview of human beings is not ordered, as in it's not aligned with how much progress we've made of learning about it over the last 3,000, 4,000 billion years. If your mentality, your worldview of what a human being is and how it operates, its design is not close to the design in the reality that we've been uncovering for thousands of years, you're gonna get angry. Because your worldview is unordered, as in it is not what the doctor ordered, as in it doesn't match, as in it's not a good match for the reality it's forced to live in. So it's like trying to play basketball. It's like being on a basketball court while trying to play by soccer rules. You can imagine that. So what we humans did, we're like, hey, let's figure out what game we're actually playing and try to play that game. So we're like, let's try to figure out the rules of basketball, because we're playing basketball. We can't help but play basketball. We can't help but play life. We're playing life. So over centuries, over thousands of years, we've been passing to each other, old guy after old woman after old guy after old woman, passing each other knowledge, saying, hey, I think the game looks like this. I think the game looks like this, so that we can all start playing the game for real, instead of wondering why we're losing the game because we're playing soccer on the basketball court. So your mentality must be ordered so that your physicality must also be ordered. Or rather, your mentality should be ordered and also your physicality should be ordered. If one or the other is starved of attention, it will affect the other, right? Your idea of human beings, if you think that I'm not worth it, if you think that, hey, I have no value, I don't actually have connection to this godlike potential of the human collective unconscious thing, I don't have connection to that. If that's your worldview, it is going to affect your physicality as, one, first of all, you want to take care of yourself. Two, you won't work out. You won't be physically excited to do things that would have caused you to work out. You wouldn't be physically excited to do anything because you have this unordered worldview, right? This improper worldview, this worldview based off of a falsity, this worldview based off of non-godlike thinking, which would mean that humans are just humans. As in, like, if you're an atheist, you believe that humans are basically defined by what they do because there is no collective unconscious for them to potentiate towards, to go towards. They're just defined by what they do. So if you have that worldview, your worldview of yourself is that you have done and you are just what you've done. So there's no potential beyond what you can do right now. So you're not going to take care of yourself. You're not going to orient yourself physically to even think about, you're not even going to think about placing weight of the body on the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all the time because you're like, that guy's not worth it. This experience, not worth it. Because your worldview of the human beings is so corrupt, withered, desecrated, corrupted. I said corrupted, weakened, low self-confidence, to even be like, wow, I don't even deserve to feel the front of my spine right now into the rainbow arches. So this mental world has to be ordered so that you think of yourself properly, so that you care about yourself properly. And the physical world has to be ordered so that you can be in the moment as much as possible. The mental world, you got to order that. Tell yourself all these mental things. Be like, yo, I live in the world right now. There is no other moment. Also, I'm a human being, which means I have this potential that's bursting out within the seams, from beneath the seams of this collective unconscious that we all share, that we all can use to communicate with one another. That's the worldview. That's an ordered worldview because it stands the test of time. It's consistent with the way that we view reality. Everybody has this access to it. That you only live here and now. It's demonstrated in reality. It's an ordered worldview. And you order your physical worldview, or you order your physicality. Am I feeling the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches? Or is my weight being delivered down the back of my spine and should I move it more towards the front? Feeling both sides actually does help. You don't have to get married to one another, just know the truth. That's physically orienting and physically ordering your body so that you can breathe properly, so that even if you knew that people are godlike creatures, right? Even if you knew that people are godlike creatures and you're like on stage and you're debating something and it's like very intense, even if you knew that things are like, you're like, yeah, God's got me. There are moments where your physicality will beat you over that. You got to go to the bathroom. You get nervous. You get scared. You get hungry. There are moments where your body will take domain over your mentality now because your mentality exists in your flesh. So when your flesh is alerted to some kind of threat, maybe you start getting anxious. What is anxiety, right? Maybe your body goes through some kind of stress. It doesn't matter how well oriented or how well ordered your worldview is of saying like, wow, human beings are these great creatures. And even though I'm losing on stage and they're throwing rotten tomatoes at me, I'm going to somehow stay calm. It's very difficult. And in those moments is when it's important to be physically ordered as they feed into one another. In moments in which your mental order is in proper alignment, so you understand the human experience properly, you ordered it, and you're like, wow, these people don't hate me, they're just angry. We all have this connection to humans, God, whatever. But then you get hit in the face with a tomato, and then you get angry because your physicality, your physical form has been affected, but you haven't understood how to order your physical form. So now you get upset with them. You get upset with yourself because you didn't go to your potential, because you let yourself be bothered by this. You get mad at them because you start blaming them for the situation. All these sorts of things because your physical experience was affected. How do you resist anger? How do you never get angry? Order your world mentally and order your physicality. They inform one another. They are a rich communication center that inform one another. When your body's feeling negative feelings, like you get a tomato thrown at you or you're in pain, oftentimes it will reflect into your mentality and give you a different sense of self-esteem. How much self-esteem do you have when you're on the bench, when you should be playing and your foot's hurt? Your physicality will affect your mentality. So boom, that's when it's important for your mentality to be ordered. That's when it's important for your worldview to be ordered mentally. Is when your physical experience is telling you that you're less than worth it, or that it's trying to change the truth, which is that you are this godlike creature, this window to God, or the nature of the universe, this collective unconscious that humans have, right? Your physical experience alerts you and changes your worldview, right? Should your worldview not be robust and stand. What's the word? Scrutiny. If your worldview isn't ordered well enough, then your physical being will alert you to you being less than, and you won't be able to recover mentally. And vice versa. Should you find that people are disrespecting you, you might find that your body gets a weird crick in your stomach and you might be uncomfortable and want to leave in a situation where you normally would have stayed. That's when it's important to order your worldview physically. Your inside worldview physically, right? As in the weight of the body is not distributed back the back of the spine. Maybe that's why you're getting anxious. Place that weight of the body down the front of the spine, homeboy. And you do not sit on your legs or your tailbone. Maybe that's why that guy's not looking at you no more, right? Maybe that's why that boy lost interest, because you were trying to sit on your tailbone. So you're stressed out and they can see that physically. And your inside world's all confused. It's like, what the hell, man? Oh, I love this guy. Why does it feel this way? Inside world's all confused. You gotta order yourself on the inside world mentally, as in what do you think about yourself and all human beings, and then order yourself on the inside world physically, as in where's your weighted body supposed to be distributed? Where's the weight of the body that's supposed to be distributed? On the front of the spine. You order that. As in, you correct that. That chaos that's going on inside of your body. You're like, wow, where do I place my weight? You order that. You correct that. You'd be like, down the front of the spine, silly. Never get angry. And how do we do that? Well, you order your inside world mentally and physically. You are this godlike thing. Live in the moment. There is no other moment. And of course, placing the weight of the body down the front of the spine and into the rainbow arches at all of the times. The most in the moment you could possibly be. Your body. And why should you never be angry? Because it shows that it's personal. Truth is not on your side. You're probably not right. You're lacking humility and it's counterproductive. You don't get what you want. You get the opposite. You get the opposite. Never get angry. You end up getting the opposite. It shows that you're comparing to another time that is not. Never compare to another time that is not. The front of your spine is only here and now. It's not in the future. And so if they want the best of your potential, you got to feel the best in the moment. And how do you do that? Place the weight of the body down the front of the spine. Not by thinking about other times. And then feeling the front of the shins. Correcting our worldview of what people are, what the situation is, what you got to do. Never get angry. You will not get what you want here on Pagomon. Never get angry. You will get everything you want should you not get angry, as your worldview will be ordered. Being in the moment, feeling the front of the spine, rainbow arches all the times. Remember, you do not sit in your legs. This has been Pagomon. We'll see you tomorrow.